Unit I. Chapter 1. Introduction to Management. Dr. Vipin Agarwal. Learning Outcomes. After reading this chapter, you will be able to understand the meaning of term management, nature, characteristics of management, functions of management, role and importance of management in an organization, levels of management, coordination as an essence of management. An introduction to management. In very simple terms, management means to manage. We use this term on an everyday basis while dealing with household chores or office work. When we use this term with reference to an organization, here is when it becomes comprehensive. In the context of a business or an organization, in the most simplistic way, management can be defined as art of getting things done from others. However, this definition, along with being overly simplistic, is also incomplete and underestimates the scope and nature of management as a discipline. The very first thing about management is that it is not only an art but also a science. It involves designing principles as well as their subjective and creative application in various situations. We will study about the nature of management both as science as well as an art in later sections of this chapter in detail. Secondly, management is not a term describing a single activity, rather it is a process consisting of various activities such as planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. These activities are also called as functions of management, and together they constitute as interrelated and important elements of management. Thirdly, the above definition makes management a directionless and blind activity done with no goal and purpose. That is why it is incomplete, because setting up goals and objectives and achieving them is what management is all about. The beginning and the continuity of management lies in establishing and achieving these goals. Goals and objectives are set up for different situations, projects and departments differently, but the one. Two goals that every management activity strives to achieve are the goals of efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency can be defined as utilization of resources in the best possible manner, or to put it precisely, it is utilization of resources in such a manner that either the output per unit of input is maximized or either the cost per unit of input is minimized. However, efficiency achieved beyond a time limit is of no use. For example, if you are working on a project to be completed in 1 year time frame and you are just focusing on efficiency, i.e., you are trying to do work slowly yet with no wastage, you may run the risk of running out of time, and hence efficiency so achieved will be of no use to anyone. Therefore, there has to be timeliness in your working. We can say that efficiency achieved in a time-bound manner is what effectiveness is all about. The second goal of management, which go hand in hand with efficiency, is effectiveness, which is about achieving organizational goals within the constraint of time. The goal of management in general is to achieve efficiency and effectiveness in working. Fourthly, this definition points towards an autocratic management ideology which greatly underestimates the journey and evolution of management thought process. Management is done not only through people but also with people. The evolution of management has brought it to a point where human resources are the biggest asset and capital of an organization. Today, organizations are surviving in a globalized and competitive environment. They are not only competing for a large customer base but also for a strong employee base. Therefore, the principles of democratic and participatory work environments have become pillars of a successful organization. After analyzing all the points, a complete and comprehensive definition of management is: it is an art science of getting things done with and through others with an overall purpose of achieving efficiency and effectiveness of management. The various points on the nature of management can be identified from the definition given above. These are as follows. Management is both science as well as an art. Management is a discipline which makes the best of two worlds, i.e., world of science and world of art. World of science is based on experimentation, facts and figures. The goal of science is to achieve perfection. The outcomes of science are so perfect that they are universally applicable and acceptable. For example, if both you and your friend add number 2 with 5, both of you will always and again get the results as 7 only. Your formula and approach can be different, but the results will be standard. On the other hand, is the world of art, which is completely opposite to science. Here, there is no place for rigidity and experimentation. It is all about creativity, thinking, and imagination. Art does not define and neither accepts a perfect outcome. Its application is too subjective in nature, and hence the possibility of two different human beings giving the same outcome becomes null. Both the worlds, being opposite to each other, have their own set of advantages and disadvantages. They cannot be mixed, but they coexist because both have their own unique contributions. On one hand, art promotes creativity and breaks rigidity. On the other hand, science promotes reliability and perfection. Management is a discipline derives its principles in a scientific manner but applies them in an artistic manner, i.e., depending upon the situation and circumstances. Therefore, management tries to create a balance between creativity and perfection. Management is a process. As already described, management involves a series of activities: planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, done one after another in a systematic manner. Planning is all about looking into the future, deciding the long and short-term goals, and laying down the best possible course of action to achieve them. Once the plans are laid, the next thing is to get into action, and it starts with organizing. It refers to collecting all the resources, men, material, money, and arranging them in a systematic manner for systematic functioning. Next is directing, which ensures that plans are being adhered to, i.e., it refers to keeping a track on activities and ensuring that they are done as per the course of action laid down under planning, and continuously motivating employees in the direction of organizational goals. Last comes the controlling, which is about measuring the actual performance. Controlling is actually directly related with planning. It tells the deviations and lags in the actual performance that organization can improve upon in the next cycle of management. Management as multidimensional. Management has a journey of evolution. As the organizations grew larger and larger in size and scale, the need for management was realized more and more. The need for management gave rise to studies in the areas of management to understand its true nature and for its wise application. Hence, during its journey, management derived and borrowed its principles from various other established disciplines such as science, sociology, economics, and political science. It studies individual and social behavior through behavioral sciences. It studies group behavior through social sciences. Studies organization structures and authority gains through political science. Studies problem of decision making and optimization through economics, and so on. Therefore, management is called multidimensional, i.e., it looks at managerial problems from various angles, and that's what makes it a rich subject. Management is dynamic. Management is ever changing. This is because management needs to adjust itself in accordance with changing situations. A successful management style is dynamic, adaptive, and flexible. This is because an organization is a part of a dynamic system. It operates in a business environment which keeps on changing and presents a bundle of opportunities and threats to it. This environment needs to be scanned and monitored on a continuous basis. By analyzing its environment carefully, and 3. Organization can grab on opportunities and fight its threat at the right time. Therefore, management is dynamic. Management is continuous. The functions of management can be depicted in a cyclical manner which further indicates continuity. As soon as one function of management ends, it kickstarts the next function. Hence, the functions of management completes a circle with no end. As long as the organization survives, the circle of management keeps on revolving. Management is pervasive. Management is present and needed everywhere, starting from an individual, to a group, to a community, to organization, to a nation and world. In an organization, management is present at all levels of management and in every department. Management is goal-oriented. The very first step that puts the management into place is setting up of goals and objectives. Management has no existence without goals and objectives. Efficiency and effectiveness are two general goals of management. Coordination is the essence of management. As we studied, that management consists of various activities. All these activities are interrelated and interdependent on each other. However, the cycle of management can work only on the pillar of coordination. The entire process may fail if the activities are not coordinated with each other. It is very important to ensure coordination between various departments and resources in order to ensure coordinated working of an organization.